We are live. And the first thing I want to talk about is, did PJ Duke get that takedown versus Landon Robideau? You let me know in the chat. What's happening, everybody? Coach Cala here with your weekly episode of Matt Chat. I'm your host, Coach Jesse Cala, local PE teacher from Connecticut, and just trying to grow the sport of NCAA wrestling. If you've been following me the last about 12 weeks or so, I've been doing a Matt Chat every week. And with NCAA wrestling season just coming to an end over the weekend, my new weekly series is going to talk about controversial calls. And we're going to start off, last week we started off with Logan Stieber versus Jordan Oliver from about 15 years ago. And now we're going to talk about the PJ Duke versus Landon Robideau match from last week. I cannot believe what happened. It was unbelievable. But I want to know what you think in the chat. And we're going to go over the video, hopefully, during this on my computer as well. But appreciate all of you joining. Always means a lot to do these Matt Chats. And I just love talking college wrestling. So, yeah, we'll give it a minute. Hope everybody had a great day. Taught some PE. It was a lot of fun. But now we're going to get into some of those controversial calls. Or probably the most controversial call in recent memory. I mean, both of PJ's losses this year were two controversial calls. So it's just unreal what is going on. So I'm going to ask the chat right now. Did PJ have the takedown? And if you saw my thumbnail, you would know it really looks like 3 from there, but we're going to talk about it some more. I think that moment really changed a lot of college wrestling, and I just felt like the vibe was much different after that match for the Penn State wrestlers. I know PJ wrestled back for third. He did a great job doing that, but it just seemed like everybody was off after PJ didn't get that call. It just seemed like Penn State had a different vibe to their team. Even Coach Kel Sanderson, who I think is the GOAT of college wrestling coaching and wrestling in general, I even think his tone switched too. And as people saw and tried dissecting his interactions and his meetings after with the press, he just seemed really, really timid and not very happy about what was going on. Is it because they didn't have 10 national champs, or is it because that the reffing was, again, not so great this year? Now, just a little context to talk about it in case you're new to college wrestling. March Madness is the ultimate thing for any collegiate wrestler or athlete to win at the NCAAs. And in the NCAA finals match, we had 2 of the all-time great freshmen, PJ Duke from New York, who wrestles for Penn State, and Landon Robideau, who was a Minnesota commit that wrestles for David Taylor at Oklahoma State. If you don't know the background, David Taylor wrestled for Penn State. Now, of course, he coaches for Oklahoma State. So they were both really tied up in the middle of this match, and we're going to watch the match on my laptop right now. I'm going to share the screen, but it was a very tight match, high tense, high stakes, and it was David Taylor versus his alma mater, Penn State. So he really wanted his wrestler Landon Robideau to win, and ever since PJ Duke lost to Antrell Taylor back at Penn State, 2 from Nebraska, it seemed like there was nobody going to beat PJ Duke this year unless something crazy like that happened. So I just would like to know, if you're watching right now, I know there's 3 of you in the chat right now. Did you think that was a breakdown? Because let me know. I would like to know what actually happened in that scramble. Was there better positioning? Was there control or no control? And we're going to get into it. So I'm going to share my screen. If it doesn't work on my laptop, I'm going to have to do it on the phone video. NCAA video. I had it up earlier, so where is it? Not watching it on TikTok. Come on now. YouTube. Oh, they don't even have it on here anymore. That's crazy. I'm going to pull it up on my phone, chat, if you're watching. Gonna pull it up on my phone. Landon Robideau versus PJ Duke. Let me see if I can find it on YouTube on my phone again. All right, so yes, I can't find it, but I can find someone else's breakdown. So I'm gonna put it on mute and see what we can do from there. All right, chat? But I'm curious to know, if you're watching right now, did you think that was 3 for PJ Duke? Because again, this was during the NCAA semifinals, chat, which is a huge deal. And again, this is your weekly episode of Matt Chat. I'm your host, Coach Cala. Pretty cool thing that happened to me yesterday, and I was just about to say I'm from Milford, Milford, Connecticut, local PE teacher, high rocks athlete, marathon runner. Love talking NCAA wrestling. I'm the New Haven wrestling coach out here in Connecticut. We have the best pizza and best team. But the coolest thing happened yesterday. I met Nico Provo, who just took third at the NCAAs over the weekend, which were held in Cleveland. I've been calling him out on my podcast at least 3 times. I found in clips. I know I spoke about him more. I just couldn't find any more evidence in the time that I wanted to post. I shook his hand right at the local mall. I knew he was from Milford, Stratford area, but I was kind of starstruck. I was like, dude, what are you doing here? I was like, didn't you just take third? I was like, I'm not trying to glaze. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I was like, I'm not trying to glaze, man, but I just saw you take third. That was so sick against Vincent Robinson. And he just took the time to, talk to me, which was really cool, man. Pretty awesome. We got some people in the chat. Love reading the chat. All right. Who we got here? Mimu6163 locked up cradle with the guy on his hip and even exposed his 3. The problem wasn't the ref took too long to call. It was he didn't call it soon enough to horrible call. Okay. They didn't give Sergio Vega the takedown after locking up the cradle, putting Jesse to his hip. I see. This is what I'm talking about with here. Jesse had Vega leg for a time. I agree. I'm waiting for somebody to mention the Shane Van Ness match next too, where he was holding onto the foot. But I always love when people are in the chat. You all make this way better. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm really growing my YouTube right now, and it would be great if you can all like and subscribe. Would love to get to 1,200 subscribers by the end of March. Let's go. All right, I'm gonna share my screen. I'm sure some of you have watched this, and I'm not trying to give any class.
Landon Robideau pulled off quite the up.
All right. So again, I'm painting the picture for all of you right now, and I'm happy you can see it. This is, I gotta just move my screen like that. Let me know if you can see it, because I can't share it and watch it at the same time on my laptop. This is the semifinals of what these two kids have been working their whole life for. The NCAA championship. You can call it the World Championship, the College Championships. It's the NCAA championships. And these are two of the best America has. And they're both true freshmen, right? They are both true freshmen. Oklahoma State is in orange. PJ Duke's in blue. PJ Duke, a few years back, he was my pick to win it all after he dominated Charlie Taylor. PJ Duke is just an absolute beast. When Nick Newell, one of the best ever MMA fighters with only one arm, is saying that PJ Duke is a monster, how can you vote against him? But right here, you could tell. Perfect. Does that look good for everybody? Let me know if you can see. This is what a cradle is. You get their head and their arm. Sorry, you got an overhook over their head. Your other hand goes between their leg, and you try to squish your hands together like this for any of my youth wrestlers listening, and you want to try to grab your hands. Now, it's not usually 3 until you get them to their hip. At least I would argue for the high school rules, where I've been noticing this year. I've been coaching a long time and been wrestling a long time. Yes, I agree. We're going to get there in a second. But they're wrestling. And right here, you could see the ref calls 3. Now, this person did a great breakdown. I'm not going to try to watch the whole match. But regardless, we're going to get there right about... There it is. So again, it's a very low scoring match. If you watch the first part of this match, it was lots of hand fighting, which has been happening a lot with college wrestling, especially at the NCAAs. Hand fighting, you're tying up with one another, not trying to give up any points. Landon Robideau is a beast. I'm not trying to take anything away from him. I know somebody in my chat last week was saying, what's with the asterisk, blah, blah, blah. Why are you calling an asterisk? He's an awesome athlete. I'm not personally attacking this kid at all. I'm sure he's a great kid, hard worker, blah, blah, blah. Everything under the sun, right? I'm just saying, how is this not 3? Boom. Not there yet. He's reaching across. Also, Penn State is underrated at that far leg attack. Do you all, like, on that counter shot, they all dive for that far leg, and it's just so sick to watch. And before we get into it, I'm going to just be I'm going to be honest. During live TV, when it wasn't slowed down and everything, when there's people in the room, you're looking around, you're talking wrestling, this is a really close match. At first, I didn't think it was 3 because they gave reaction time. I didn't realize the ref gave the 3 when he stopped it. I thought he was doing potentially, something crazy, just a ref being a ref, just getting in the match. As they're rewinding it, I'm like, how are they not going to give this 3 other than he was reaching out with his hand? Could be reaction time. That's fine. But even with the locked up cradle, you typically can get the 3 when they go to their hip. So I'm not saying I wasn't 100% on this call with PJ Duke until afterwards. Not saying that social media persuaded me, but I'm saying during that live moment, I really thought that Landon was getting his reaction time out, and that's why he was waiting, the ref. I was like, why didn't he give the 3 yet? Why didn't he give the 3? When they started replaying it and we could watch it on the screen is when I realized he gave the 3 before that, before he moved his hand out, right? Usually when you're moving your hand out, you're trying to not get the knee to the face on that. If anyone that's ever been in a near side cradle, they're bringing their knee to your face and you're trying to block it or thigh block with your hand. And that's what I thought Landon was doing. So I was like, okay, maybe the ref stopped it in overtime, gave the 3, but I was saying it was reaction time. When they rewinded it, clearly the ref gives the 3 when he locks it up. So I wasn't sure what the brick was thrown for. Okay. Or I shouldn't say what the brick was thrown for. I was more confused on why this didn't go PJ Duke's way. Because 2 things happen here. And we're going to watch. He readjusts himself. Bam, right there. So tough angle from here. On TV, I feel like it was a little bit more sideways. I could be wrong. PJ has the overhook over his head. His leg is right here. His 2 hands are together like this. A gable grip is what we call it right here. Thumbs. If you just try to pull your hands together right now like that, it's tough to get out. Now imagine a killer, right? A wrestling killer, not a murderer. Imagine somebody that has done this move forever. What do you think he's going to do here with that move, right? Probably put you to your back. Now, I'm not saying he would have put Landon to his back. I'm not. I'm saying he probably would have. But the other issue is this is locked up for sure. Like there was no debate of that. And he's on his hip, right? In slow time, it looks way more like 3 for sure. And then this, Mimo, you're the man for being in the chat. Sorry, I'm looking at the other screen, my man, but I really appreciate you being in it. I will look at the chat in a second. On a near side cradle, when you go around in a front headlock position where you get their chin, elbow, ear, everybody knows in wrestling, if you lock up your hands and walk over and hook the leg, it's usually 3. Duke's foot was over this foot, right? Unless I'm crazy, which, could be true. But am I wrong or didn't PJ scoop the foot too? Yep, right there. Right over the leg right there. He overhooked the foot. So that's definitely 3 in my eyes. Now, again, this is slow motion. When it's fast paced, it looks like Landon gets right out and puts his hand there. When it was faster, obviously this video is chopped up due to NCAA wrestling rights, but he has it like this, puts him on his hip, he gets back up, reaction time. PJ's still in the cradle position though. Do you see what I'm saying? He's still in that, right? A true he's a world champion. What did he take last year? Did he win gold last year? He beat Trelly last year. He beat Yanni. He crushed all these people. He knows what he's doing with that cradle. Like, you're not getting out of that. Right? He even looks at him and says, what? Did you see that, yo? He said, what? So, again, bam, right there. He's on his hip, locked it up. He steps over, hooks the leg. That is 3. Now, again, he might not be going to his back and getting cradled. I'm not arguing any of the back points or what could have happened. I'm arguing right here, how is this not 3? How? Now, okay, even if you give him the reaction time, which is fine, give Landon the reaction time, right, where he breaks out of that move, even if you've given him the breakdown, he is still in the cradle there. He's still got his hands together there. That is what is the craziest part. Why would he let go of that besides the ref touching him? That is the whole issue, right? That is the whole issue. Is there control or no control? There's obviously control, people. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be too biased. Again, during live time, I really thought there was more reaction time. But I thought during the live that they were stopping it because the match ended, right? I didn't think. Just wasn't thinking clearly, right? It's the NCAA semifinals. This is the biggest time of the year. We're all watching it together going crazy. Like, it looks like there's no reaction time, or they're giving him reaction time, which is fine. That doesn't mean you stop it. They stopped it after, right? When he went back into that move. So right here is when I said no 3. But then when he got back up and he's still in this position, how is that not 3? I don't know, man. PJ seems like an absolute great kid. I just don't understand what was going on right here. This is the moment that everyone's been talking about for the last 4 days. Now, I'm not sure if this is crazier than when Trelly beat him at Penn State with that no takedown for PJ Duke then too with the reaction time. And I don't know what it is with the reaction time only with these refs, but they need to fix this rule because right here, it should still be 3. He was on his hip, got reaction time. He's still in the cradle. Why would he let go of this move? There are you could hit a near side cradle. You can get crazy, do a gator roll or cement mixer. You can bring your right hand to the chin and do a pancake with the left side. Bring the right hand to the chin, do a pancake on the left side. You could throw him by if you're nasty with it, which I'm sure he is, right? Way better than me. But I'm just saying, does he have control or is this still a scramble chat? I need to know. And I'm going to read the comments right now. Does he have a control there, PJ Duke, over Landon Robideau? I agree completely, Mimu. You're the man, by the way, for texting. This photo is after Robideau. Yep, sorry, I started off wrong. 3 at this point hasn't called 3. Right now is 3. Agreed. The reaction time there, we gave him a second. I think the ref understands that right here in this moment, it is still locked together, and that's why he's stopping it. He's like, all right, I took a deep breath. I'm realizing it. He's probably saying it in his head because that's what a lot of refs, I guess, do. They tell themselves reaction time, right, in their head. That's reaction time. The reaction time's over. He went from his hip. Okay, he's giving him reaction time right there. Fine, totally fine. Bam. They're still locked up. How is that not 3? How is that not 3, people? Okay. David Taylor does a great job throwing the brick. Doesn't waste any time, which is totally fine. Better angle here. Locking the head. Landon's wrestling very tough. I'm not trying to take anything away from him. I don't want him to watch this video and say this guy stinks. I don't care. Blah, blah, blah. That's a locked up cradle right there. Okay. Maybe his foot wasn't hooked all the way yet. Maybe that was my fault. Okay. No back points. We're not arguing the back points. He's still in a cradle position, though. This is where it gets crazy because that is about, what, 4 to 5 seconds? That is a locked up cradle, people. Much different than the Sergio Vega and Jesse Mendez. Now, I do think Mendez was holding on to that ankle, and I thought he was probably thinking they're going to do the same thing they did with Duke and Robideau and give him the reaction time. Yeah, I did. The refs are all over the place. I agree with you, Sonoran. It's just getting out of control. This is getting out of control. But I really agree that all the refs got to figure it out. I agree. All right, let me see more in the chat. In post-match interview, PJ was nothing but class. Yeah, he's an amazing kid. That's all I've ever heard. He's from Carmel, New York, where my friend grew up. Seems like a great small town. These guys can't go into overtime because the refs can't botch it. I completely agree, Sonoran. If you're watching right now, next week, for the next 8 weeks, I have so many controversial calls from the NCAA Wrestling Championships over the last 25 years. So if you're really into controversial calls or what could have happened and this and that, usually what I say right after a match is what just happened, with my brothers there, and we go crazy. So that's why I'm calling that series this. But I'll be doing tons of videos like this starting next. Well, I started last week with Jordan Oliver versus Logan Stever. I still don't understand how that's not 2 from the 2012 NCAAs. Next week, I plan on doing Nolf versus Hayden Hidley, that is. And I believe that one can't really be debated anymore since Nolf told him after the match that was 3, But PJ went on to lose this match. Hats off to Landon Robideau. You did great. You wrestled tougher at the end. Obviously, I've been in that position, not in that exact position as PJ, but you get mentally broken. Your heart gets broken when your dreams come short. Just ran the New York City Marathon. It gets emotional sometimes when you don't hit your time. College lacrosse, high school wrestling, all these, everybody goes through these things, right? But it's about how you bounce back, and PJ bounced back with his class in the interviews like a true Penn State wrestler would. Not all of them would, but most. But Landon, you're an absolute beast. I don't want you to clip this video and do all these things, but you're a beast, man. Happy you won the NCAA championships. I still can't really say there's no asterisk. I mean, not only because of this match, but PJ probably beat Trelly Taylor the first time. He should have been going undefeated going into this tournament, right? I don't think anybody truly took PJ down this year. Oh no, a few people did, sorry. But like the Trelly match was crazy too at Penn State. Like, what are we doing here? Yes, control is established. He should have never stopped the match. I completely agree, Mark. Even in high school wrestling in Connecticut, not best state, but I would say it's like top 10. When you have a pinning combination locked up in overtime, you're going to let them finish the move. I don't understand, right? If I'm hitting, I'm in a front headlock position. I got a pancake locked up, and I'm halfway over, and everybody knows the hip pancake, right? I'm on your chin, elbow, ear, going under your arm, going towards your back. As I'm going towards your back, and they're about to give a call, you're not going to tap me on the shoulder when I'm about to pin the dude, right? No, you're going to let me pin him. So similar with the cradle. Do I think he was going to pin Landon Robideau with the cradle? No. Do I think he could have gotten a back point or a swipe? Danger position? Yeah. Those are all things that can lead to a 3-point takedown. So shout out to Landon for finishing the match and winning the national championships. He did his job afterwards. Pretty cool. Vega got caught in a cradle on day 2, and they didn't call it takedown either. Yeah, that's also crazy too. I still kind of wish they let the Jesse Mendez match go a little bit earlier. I don't know where Mendez would have went with that leg and the cradle getting locked up tighter. But they have to be on the same page about something. They have to be. All right, let's see. It would have been more decisive if he hooked a leg or ankle. Yes, I really thought he did in this video, though. That's why I'm not. This is not my footage. This is the NCAA footage, and whoever, I forget. I know I've seen this guy's videos before. I forget who his son is that did, or his cousin. I really thought he hooked it there. But man, he has all that pressure. Like he's stopping his momentum as he's going. And before he even looks, the brick is getting thrown. Right? Like the brick's probably in the air right now and it hits the mat. It is so crazy. Enjoy your videos. Thanks for doing them. Only way to toilet paper is the ref's house. On my way. Classic. Really appreciate you all. All right, I'm going to give just a quick few hints at my future videos for this Matt Chat series with the What Just Happened. With this What Just Happened videos. And if you love these videos or like them, please just throw me a subscribe and a like. It takes 1 second to do it. I'm not monetized. I'm just trying to get my subscriber count up. So when my students look at my YouTube, they're like, oh, this guy's not kidding. He's actually at 1,200. You know, there's nothing like a 6-year-old roasting me in class when I'm trying to teach parachute or kickball. All right, next week, let's see what we got here. I got Hidley versus Nof. I did Stieber versus Oliver last week. Next week, I have Hayden Hidley versus Jason Nof. The week after that, if you didn't watch last week, we got Stieber versus Oliver. This week, obviously, PJ Duke versus Landon Robideau. A couple sneak peeks. McKenna versus Yanni. Does anybody remember how crazy that call was? If you don't recall, definitely go back and watch that match. And there's a few on here from like 2005, 2018, and they're not all in the NCAA finals, semifinals, quarterfinals, but I'm trying to stick to them at this tournament, right? And one of the craziest ones I saw was like a 30-second scramble went, and they redid it. They're like, none of that counted, and then the kid got taken down again. I was like, what did I just watch? Who's paying these people? They're making so much more money than me, and it's just crazy. But yeah, that's it for me. I'm trying to make these videos shorter and sweeter, just about 25-30 minutes. Again, if you're just tuning in, we just went over the PJ Duke takedown. Did the refs miss that call? You let me know in the comment section below. Pick a side. I think this was not the right call. I think Duke should have won the NCAA tournament. I think he should have went undefeated this season. I think the Trelly call in the past at Penn State was a crazy call too. But overall, I'm really happy with the NCAA finals this weekend. I thought it was one of the best NCAAs I've seen in a long time, which was really great. But the biggest issue out of all this is that the refs need to be more consistent. throughout the whole NCAAs, there was inconsistencies, as we're talking about in the chat. During my live streams over the weekend, we were mentioning it. But the refs, you got to figure it out, man. You got to come together as a team and try to get better at what you're doing. I know it's a stressful job. So is coaching, so is teaching, so are all these things. Just got to figure out little things. But you'll get there. Appreciate you all watching. And let me know in the comment section below. Was that 3 for PJ Duke? I'm out, everybody. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See ya. Get moving. See you, everybody. Thanks, Mimu, for joining. You the man. Take care, everyone. Bye. 3.